pristine sand, the calming sound of the crashing waves, dolphins playing in those waves, and even the nest of a sea turtle. How would you feel if all of that was gone? Going to the beach wouldn't be as much fun anymore, right? Well, that's happening. Our oceans are becoming more and more polluted with plastics and trash, and as a result, the animals are becoming closer and closer to extinction every day. Soon there will not be sandy beaches to visit or animals to see. Think about that. We all want to solve this, and we can. We can each help in our own way. My way involves helping out a specific animal that makes a huge difference in the oceans, but also on land. The sea turtle, a majestic reptile that has lived on our planet for over 110 million years. Now you might be wondering, what do sea turtles have to do with helping the oceans? Well, I'll tell you, but first I'm going to give a quick explanation of some basic sea turtle facts, just so we all start on the same page. The sea turtle is an air-breathing marine reptile that inhabits the oceans all around the world. There are 7 species of sea turtle: Gibbs ridley, olive ridley, green, hawksbill, flatback, loggerhead, and leatherback. The shell of a sea turtle consists of the top section called the carapace and the bottom section called the plastron. Unlike many turtle species, sea turtles cannot retract into their shells. Something special about sea turtles is that the females come up on land to lay their eggs, unlike most other oceanic animals. When baby sea turtles, or hatchlings, emerge from their nest in the dark night or in the early morning, they are entirely alone and must race to the ocean. Each species of sea turtle is different, but they are all equally important to save. Now that you have some quick facts, we're going to move on to the importance of sea turtles to our oceans as well as our lives. First of all, they are a keystone species, meaning they are a vital part of maintaining the health of our oceans. The hawksbill sea turtle has a diet that consists of mainly sponges. This actually benefits coral reefs, because without hawksbills, the fast-growing sponges on the reef overgrow, suffocate, and eventually kill the very slow-growing corals. Nesting female sea turtles help the beaches when they deposit their eggs in the sand, as the eggshells and unhatched eggs left behind provide important nutrients that nourish the dune vegetation, including beach grasses. This in turn stabilizes dunes and helps to prevent coastal erosion. Leatherback sea turtles eat a diet almost completely made up of jellyfish, which helps to keep the population of jellyfish from getting too high. We may not think of a rise in the jellyfish population as a bad thing, but in the past few decades, as leatherback populations have declined, there have been blooms of jellyfish so big they clogged the filters and pipes of power plants and nuclear reactors around the world. There have been many instances where beaches have been forced to close because of jellyfish blooms. Imagine if there were even fewer leatherbacks to stop what is already a really big problem. The loggerhead sea turtles eat a lot of mussels, which helps because mussels can block pipelines and weigh down boats. Another sea turtle species that helps a lot is the green sea turtle, which acts sort of like the ocean's natural lawnmower, eating seagrasses and keeping the grass healthy. Healthy seagrass beds help to stabilize the ocean bottom, which in turn helps decrease erosion from wave action and storms. Also, seagrasses provide food and shelter for many species of fish and crustaceans. The carapace and plastron of sea turtles help other animals to survive, like the remora fish that attaches itself to animals without harming them and eats their leftover food. By helping to prevent erosion, sea turtles are saving the tourism industry of many countries around the world. How would you like a beach town with no beach, or a condo under the ocean but uninhabitable and destroyed because the sand was eroded away? You wouldn't, right? You may be thinking right now, this is why we should save sea turtles? Well, I want you to look at this. These are baby olive ridley sea turtles that I got the privilege to see how they race to the water after a 2-hour morning beach cleanup in the Oceanal Wildlife Refuge, located in Costa Rica. Straight out of the nest, these baby sea turtles faced problems. There were 2 that got stuck in a footprint and had to be helped. I chose not to take a picture of this, but during our cleanup a little earlier in the morning, we found a baby that had gotten caught up in plastic and never got the chance to get to the water, as instead it had suffocated. That was really hard for me to see. The experience helped me realize that people aren't just saying that plastic is bad for marine animals. I saw proof that it really is a big problem. Now that I've explained the many ways sea turtles are important, I'm going to move on to the biggest and most prominent problems that they are facing that we can live with. Bycatch. This is the accidental capture of marine animals in fishing gear, and is by far the greatest threat to sea turtles. A study done by Duke University in 2010 estimated that in an 18-year period, as many as 1.8 million sea turtles were caught through bycatch. Fishing gear. Many different types of fishing and tools used for fishing can cause sea turtle injury or even death. For example, pelagic or open ocean longline fishing is a really big factor in the critically endangered status of the Pacific leatherback sea turtle because they don't see the lines and as a result, they get caught. When they do get stuck, they end up drowning because they can't come up for air. In the past few decades, the population of leatherbacks has declined by 95%. Coastline alteration. There are many ways that humans use coastlines, and some can have very impactful consequences on sea turtles. For example, running up and down on or walking on sand dunes can cause serious beach erosion and can destroy nesting beaches. Sandcastles and holes on the beach can get nesting turtles or hatchlings stuck. Boating. When a sea turtle gets hit by a boat, it is when they are coming up for air. When they get hit, the air they are taking in can be forced into their body cavity, preventing them from diving to safety or hunting for food. They are then left vulnerable at the surface with a condition known as bubble butt syndrome. Additionally, more than 20% of sea turtle strandings are caused by boat strikes. Outdoor lighting. Outdoor lights at night are a huge problem for sea turtles. They can disorient both females nesting and hatchlings because both follow the light of the moon to find their way back to the ocean. Beach trash. People often bring food with them to the beach, but forget about it and the trash gets left there. That trash can cause problems for sea turtles from consumption to entrapment. Ocean pollution or marine debris. Sea turtles are vulnerable to ocean pollution at all stages of life, from eggs to hatchlings, all the way to adults. Hundreds of thousands of sea turtles, dolphins, fish, and other marine animals, plus more than 1 million seabirds, die each year due to entanglement or ingestion of marine debris. Marine debris is man-made waste that is either directly or indirectly disposed of into oceans, rivers, and other waterways. Researchers have estimated that for every 2.2 pounds of plankton in the ocean, there are 13.2 pounds of plastic. The most common marine debris items include things like cigarette butts, cans, plastic bags and bottles, styrofoam, balloons, plastic six-pack rings, food trash, lighters, and toothbrushes. Global warming. The effects of global warming have an enormous impact on our whole planet, especially marine life. The rate of global warming far exceeds the ability of animals to adapt naturally to such dramatic environmental changes. Sea level rise from the melting of polar ice is already contributing to the loss of beaches and sea turtle nesting habitat. Weather extremes, also linked to climate change, mean that more frequent and severe storms will alter nesting beaches, cause beach erosion, and can even flood sea turtle nests. Warmer water temperatures also affect coral reefs through coral bleaching, where the coral is basically in a dead state. We all have amazing thoughts on what a coral reef looks like, right? It looks like this. Well, many of our ocean's coral reefs now look like this. This in turn affects sea turtles because reefs are an area of refuge as well as an area where sponges grow. Beach bonfires. Many times, you will have a bonfire on the beach. There's nothing wrong with having a fire as long as you have a permit in some places. But if the fire is not fully put out when you leave, hatchlings could actually mistake it for the moon and crawl right into it. Poaching. Sea turtles are also threatened by poaching. Eggs are sometimes illegally harvested from the nest to be either sold or eaten. Also, in many places, artisans take the hawksbill sea turtle shell, also known as tortoise shell, to make jewelry and other products for sale to tourists. We know what threats sea turtles face, so how can we help, especially if we are far from an ocean? How can we make a difference if we don't live near a beach? How can we help sea turtles from a distance? You can start by doing some very easy steps, like recycling and cutting the rings of the plastic 6-pack soda rings. Consider buying a reusable straw to eliminate unnecessary plastics. If you get takeout and are going to eat it at home, ask for no plastic utensils. Try switching to a reusable water bottle. Buy things in bulk when you can to reduce the packaging you use. Use reusable or paper shopping bags instead of the plastic ones because sea turtles often mistake the plastic for jellyfish. Try not to release balloons because sea turtles might also eat those. Work to reduce your use of fertilizers and toxic cleaners. Track your plastic usage for 1 week and then try to use 2 less pieces each week. Plant a garden to offset your carbon footprint. If you want to buy items that look like hawksbill shell, check and see if the pattern is uniform or irregular. If it is irregular, do not buy it because there is a very high chance that it is a real shell. All of these ways I just gave will help to prevent consumption and entanglement, as well as help keep our oceans cleaner. Another thing you can do is share this documentary to inform others about all of this information. To help eliminate fisheries bycatch, you can choose seafood that is sustainable and fished according to regulations. If you ever visit the beach or have a house there, turn off the lights or close the blinds so that you don't distract or disturb nesting females or hatchlings. Also, when visiting the beach, make sure that when you leave, fill in holes and knock down your sandcastles, as well as take everything you brought back with you. If you are on a boat in the ocean, make sure that if you spot a sea turtle, slow down. Recycle your fishing line and never leave hooks or lines on the beach. Also, try not to throw them in the water. If you encounter a sea turtle on the beach at night, do not use white light because it can hurt their eyes as well as disorient them. Red lights are okay. Most importantly, if you encounter a sea turtle, respect their space and observe them from a distance. One last thing that you can do is participate in cleanups near or in bodies of water, which leads to my final section. In addition to teaching you all about this information, I have organized a way to clean up watersheds and other outdoor areas. I created a website where you can go and learn about how to do an individual cleanup and then answer a few questions I have. This will help to measure the impact of my project. Every piece of plastic and trash picked up makes a difference, even if you think it doesn't. If you are interested in learning more, I'd love for you to check out my website, www.cesfa.weebly.com. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little more about sea turtles and their importance to the environment from me. I hope you've been inspired to make a difference. If there's one thing I want you to take away, it's that if you want to help sea turtles, remember that distance doesn't matter.